boys and girls, it's Miss Lisa, the art teacher. Welcome back to my table of art. Today I'd like to talk to you about a word called foreshortening. For sure it's a weird word, but it's a really cool thing. Foreshortening. We're going to create a project today that uses foreshortening. And we're going to have to do a couple of things. We're going to have to measure and trace our hands and our feet. So we're going to need a buddy to help us because we're not going to be able to do that on our own. Because I can't trace one of my hands and try to do my other hand and do my foot and do my other foot all by myself. So I need help. So first of all, everybody is going to get a big white piece of paper like this. Okay? Oh, what? You don't know what foreshortening is? Well, let me tell you what foreshortening is. What's going to happen is we're going to create an illusion, kind of like magic. And it's going to be like an extension of ourselves in space, where my hand is going to look so much closer to you than it really is, and the distance from my hand to my body is going to seem so far. But it's really not. It's right here. But with foreshortening, everything appears to be more dramatic and close up. Here I am. Peekaboo. So this is what foreshortening is all about. So when we draw our hands on our paper and our feet on the paper, we're going to have our body set all the way back with this little template. That's going to be you. So let's get started because I think you're really going to enjoy this, okay? So I think the best thing is if I bring you down to my table. I've already traced my hands, and I had to draw fake feet because I have really big feet and they probably won't fit on the paper. So let's get started and come on down to my table, okay? Let's see a little bit, just a second. Come on down. Here we go. Okay, can you see my paper here? I'm going to slide my computer just a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so I put both my hands down and I measured around both my hands. I had some help, I'm not going to lie. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace it in marker just so you could see it, okay? Because it's very light and I want you to be able to see where the placement is of your hands. They're going to be side by side. Thumbs will be facing in. There's my one hand. And when you trace it, it might get really lumpy. You could fix that when you trace over it with whatever you're going to use, a marker or a crayon. So this is the first part. See how far up I have my hands on the paper? Here's the top of the paper. So I didn't leave much room up on the top, but I left some space here in the center, which is where my head is actually going to go. See what I'm talking about? You're saying, how is your head going to fit there? It's all about foreshortening. So the hands are on the top half of the paper, and then our feet are going to be on the bottom half. Now remember, these are not my feet, but I had to pretend they were because my feet wouldn't even fit here. That's one foot. Let me draw my other foot. Okay, so now I have my 2 feet. Now notice I left space in between the 2 feet. I put them towards the edge of the paper, and I'd like for you to do the same when you trace your hands and feet. I'm going to be sending you a template with a little body on it. You're going to have to cut the body out, and then you're going to trace it on your paper. Now look how I'm positioning this guy on my paper. I want my 2 arms to meet up with my hands, but I still want my head to shine through between my hands. So my template is on my hands and connected to my feet. And now I'm going to trace around my template. So you might have a buddy help you with this, somebody to hold the template while you trace. And don't worry about being perfect. You could always fix it once you get the general idea where your body's going to be on your paper. See, I'm not actually even against my paper. I'm tracing around it. I'm just using it kind of as a guide. So I've traced my body. I'm going to go over it with the marker so you can see. Because with the pencil it's very dark. And I want you to notice what I did, okay? This is very important. Okay. Notice that even though my hand extends over this hand, I did not trace it with the marker because I'm going to erase that line because my hand is in front of my arm. And the same on this side of my hand. So let's erase that. Because if my hand is up like this, you don't see my arm behind it. So there's no reason for me to draw my arm over my hand. So you see I erased those pencil marks now. So now I'm going to go down to the feet and the same thing. My template actually extends into my foot, but I'm not tracing all the way there. I stopped with the marker and when I hit the foot, and then I continued on the other side. So I'm going to erase this part of my leg because we don't need that because my leg is behind my foot. So I'm going to erase those pencil marks. Okay? And any other pencil marks you might have from tracing. Now would be a good time to do that. I have quite a few that are out of the bounds, and that's okay. That's why it's a pencil and we use erasers. So all the lines that go where they don't belong, we can erase. And that's why I like using pencils. And then later deciding where the marker goes. Okay, we're almost done erasing. Okay, almost done, almost done. This looks really cool. Okay, so now we have what's called foreshortening. Those feet and hands appear to be so close, and it's creating the illusion of an extension into space. My feet and hands will appear closer than they actually are, and it's appearing to have less depth or distance between my feet and my body. Okay, so this is what foreshortening looks like. Things appear closer that aren't really that close. Very dramatic. Okay, now what I'd like you to do is put a shirt on your little template guide. We'll get a pencil. You could have a long shirt, you could have a short shirt, you could have short sleeves, you could have long sleeves. I'm giving mine short sleeves. I'm going to decorate, I'll get my collar. I like a rounded neck. If you want anything special on your pants, maybe just a zipper, maybe a belt loops. Okay, on my pants, and maybe some pockets. I like pockets on my pants. So right now we're decorating our guy. I like flowers, so I'm going to put a big flower on my t-shirt. Okay. And my hair, it's always up in a bun, but I'm going to make it kind of short. I like short hair, and I would like to cut my hair short with some bangs. And I'm going to be happy. Now I'm drawing upside down. Not that easy. How'd I do? Okay, I look pretty good. I like ears too, so I can hear people. And earrings. Now, when it comes to your feet, I want you to do both feet symmetrically balanced, meaning whatever you do on this foot, I want you to repeat it on this foot the same, like mirror images. symmetry, symmetrical balance, same on both sides, mirror images. So if you draw zigzag lines on this foot, I want zigzag lines on that foot. If you make a straight line, I want a straight line. If you make looping lines, I want looping lines. You can make any design you want. It's the bottom of your foot, so long as it's symmetrical. Okay? So you go do that, and I'm going to do mine, and I'll be back in a minute. Just want to check in and see how you're doing. I started outlining my clothing, put a little design and colored it in, and I'm starting my design in my shoes. Notice they're exactly the same on both sides. They're symmetrically balanced, and I'd like you to do the same. This is how we apply symmetry to our artwork, keeping them symmetrically balanced like mirror images. Okay, keep coloring. I'll check back with you in a minute. I've completed my design in the bottom of my sneakers, and I colored in my clothes. Now I'm going to work on my skin tone. I think I'll look for a brownish color. My skin's on the brown side. So I'm mixing crayons and markers and even highlighters to color in my body. And you can do the same. Crayons, markers, colored pencils, whatever you can find. Everything works. So I'll see you in a minute. Let's keep drawing. Let's keep coloring. Okay, I've colored everything in. I've even added the lines that are on the palms of my hand. And I've got nails on my fingers. Now remember, we're seeing the front, this side of our fingers, and the nails are on the other side. So make sure you only see the tops of the nails shining through if you're going to put nails on. Okay, now let's incorporate our clouds. They had clouds in the picture. We could add clouds too. So I'm going to use my blue marker. I'm just going to create some clouds in the background. My papers got running out of room over here. I'm going to put a cloud up here. And you just use a little curvy line to create a cloud. And this gives kind of like more of a not optical illusion, but illusion as far as how space is between my feet, my hands, my body, and now the clouds. Am I floating in the clouds? Am I near the clouds? Am I just trying to confuse the viewer, having clouds in the background? Or is it just something fun that we're doing? I say it's just something fun. And I'm going to color in my clouds. And I think that might be the end of this picture. I'm going to get my blue crayon, and I'm going to do a nice soft crayon rub in the background. Just so I don't have a stark white paper. Just gives a nice texture to my picture. I don't have to color every little crevice. I just want the general idea that I've got a blue sky behind me instead of this dark white. Adds a little bit more of a nice touch to our drawing. Can you see? Can you see how I just added some blue crayon? Yeah. Let me bring my camera up because I think I finished mine. And you tell me what you think of my foreshortening. So remember, foreshortening. I'm sorry, my nose was itchy. The foreshortening creates that illusion that things appear closer and that our things that are set back are much further. It's a very dramatic effect. Foreshortening. Our feet, our hands. Now, if you really thought about it, our hands aren't that much bigger than our bodies, right? It's all about foreshortening. And we used symmetrical balance between our two sneakers. Symmetry was applied here, which is the same on both sides. Mirror images. If you look, both my sneakers are the same. And then we just added some background. I added clouds. You don't have to add clouds. You could add whatever you want. But I hope you enjoyed this lesson and learned a little bit about foreshortening and symmetrical balance, symmetry. Pretty simple, eh? All right, boys and girls, you have a great day. Be good, be kind. And until we meet again, this is Miss Lisa, your art teacher, saying ciao for now from my table of art. Bye, kids. Be good. I miss you.